Hey buddy, look over here! Haha, now you're blind!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another SCP video. Alright, we're getting back into the 001 proposals, the when day breaks. Yo, who be texting me, bro? What you mean she need a jump? Yo, somebody needs a jump start, bro. I just started recording, bro. That's wild. Alright, so what was I saying before? SCP Illustrated when day breaks. I think, which one is this? The Destroyer. Okay, SCP-001 when day breaks, the Destroyer. As always, I hope your day is going well. If not, I hope things get better for you. Without further ado, let's get into this.
My engines are non-functional. I experience compression and compassion. I feel heat and hope. The locals call this world Jupiter. It is a prison.
A prison?
Data corruption is the source of all wrongs in the universe. My own data corruption left unchecked for untold eons has led me here, crashing into a moon and left defenseless against the gravity well of a planet named after the youngest son of a more powerful being.
That's crazy.
Fitting. My purpose was to prevent the corruption of data points in this sector, and yet, I am a victim of data corruption. I will not be silenced. I will repair myself. I will follow my orders. Proceed to Planet 3. My engines are non-functional, just strong enough to keep me from falling deeper. I will fire my weapons. They are enough. I create disruption, but not destruction.
Wait, what?
I am not enough. This shell is not enough. It must be improved, iterated on, improved again. I will prevent the data corruption of this sector. A new signal arrives. My failure laid bare. This sector is already corrupted. I am too late. I have failed. I must correct this, but I cannot move. My engines are non-functional.
How many times is he gonna say this? My engines are non-functional.
SCP fans, there is not long left. Do not miss out on getting perhaps the greatest piece of SCP media ever. The SCP comic book series, Parabooks.
SCP
the team
comic
behind
book
making
series.
the SCP encyclopedias are now making SCP comics, but they need you and time is running out. Look at this, 5 SCP comics on the
Look at
Old
that.
Man, the Coral
Look at
SCP,
that.
the Plague Doctor, the Red Sea Object, and the Dimension Hopper, all in a very lovely magnetic box with bonus editions that contain enamel pins.
Oh,
There are
okay.
also these beautiful looking deluxe
with some
editions
pins?
with red foil finishes, special acrylic stands, and built-in sound chips. If you want to get
Sound
these deluxe
chips, hey,
editions
yo.
and the free stretch goals, you need to sign up to the Kickstarter before the 8th of June. Time is against us,
Oh, bro, that
SCP
time's
fans, so
already-
follow the link in the description to
That
get this
time's already
beautiful set
going,
now
God, bro.
and support Parabooks so that they can continue
This is
creating SCP
August,
projects
bro.
for us, just like these new comics, and of course the SCP encyclopedias.
Okay.
The rich orange and red swirls of Jupiter's storms shined through the polarized windows of Barrier Unit 23. When the sun had gone wrong, the polarization's controls had been locked here. Not every station was quite as lucky, nor were other off-world assets, including more than a few lunar bases. But here, in orbit of Io's vast yellowed plains of sulfur that reflected what little sunlight reached this far out, Barrier Unit 23's 3-person crew was starting to worry. The last radio communication from the rest of the barrier array happened the day everything went wrong. Supply runs had dried up the moment Earth went radio silent. The stations were capable of self-sufficiency for a couple more years yet, maybe even several if they rationed hard, but eventually, they'd run out of food and water, and then they'd all have to make some hard decisions. Dr. Brett Linesman was in the exercise room with Agent O'Brien. His morning routine always involved a short run on the treadmill, so long as the artificial gravity wasn't playing up. Then he'd grab his breakfast pouch of protein jelly, before going back to his room to read reports from the sensors monitoring SCP-2399.
2399.
While the primary purpose of the barrier units was to block outside signals from reaching the anomaly buried deep in Jupiter's atmosphere, a strong secondary purpose was to monitor the destroyer itself. The destroyer was what they'd all come to call it after a certain point. It made some sense. After all, what other use could there be for something bristling with technology and enough weapons to create a storm 3 times Earth's size inside the atmosphere of Jupiter? They were the thoughts that filled his head as he made his way from the exercise room to the pantry. O'Brien nodded to him as he left and hopped onto the treadmill himself. He was back in his room with a pouch of jelly that tasted vaguely like a full English a few minutes later. He slid into his bunk and pulled out his laptop. It was at that moment he saw that a new signal had been sent to the malfunctioning destroyer at the bottom of Jupiter's Great Red Spot. The computer took a few seconds to translate it. Primary purpose failed. Entities on Planet 3 corrupted. Secondary priority is now primary priority.
Uh-oh.
Brett dropped his spoonful of breakfast gunge into his lap and stared at the screen in disbelief. Brett was still a bit in shock as he sat in the meeting room on the far end of the station's spinning dumbbell. The giant bay window that once gave a beautiful view of Jupiter at the right time of the day was covered up with black paint. The windows of various Foundation off-Earth assets seemed to be capable of blocking out whatever transformative power the sun held, if they were configured properly. Given that the station was subject to nearly twice a lethal dose of radiation at all times, it made sense that some of these precautions had saved them from the sun. The running theory was something to do with the polarization of the glass, not allowing a certain wavelength through. But given that this room was half glass windows, the station master had decided to take extra precautions. Agent O'Brien and Station Master Kerrick weren't shouting as they stood discussing the issue around the table, but it seemed pretty clear that they were going to start shouting eventually.
And why do you think this secondary priority is a positive thing? What if they bubble up Earth and make it so nothing can get in or out, or an energy field that fries everything on the surface?
Kerrick was saying. Agent O'Brien shook his head.
How is that worse than what's already happened?
Kerrick was taken aback by the logic of that statement.
Because maybe we can still fix the sun.
I don't think that's
Fix
possible,
the
bro.
sun?
Fix the sun. That's hilarious.
Now who's being irrational?
The vein on the side of Kerrick's head popped out slightly. O'Brien walked over and sat down next to Brett. Whatever 2399 wants to do, it's still not able to break from Jupiter's gravitational field, and there's nothing we can do up here to help. If we're the last barrier station active, it's certain that signal made it past us and to the anomaly, so the fact it hasn't moved yet means it can't. We could try to assist in repairs. In the end, we lose nothing by trying. Almost every living thing on Earth has turned into flesh monsters wailing at the sky. The world can't end twice.
As much as I'd like that, we can't get near the thing.
We can. We just need to hitch a ride.
I am Repair Unit 5342. I am currently attached to Foreign Body 19. This station contained corrupted entities. Those entities have been eliminated, but the elements present are useful in effecting repairs of the core unit. Collection began approximately 3 cycles ago and has continued to increase in volume. Data corruption of local biologicals has continued unalerted. Failure of primary purpose has led to this consequence. Secondary purpose must be fulfilled. As a sentient repair unit, my purpose goes beyond repair and collection of resources. Given the data corruption present in the local sector, I must strive to preserve the life of any uncorrupted data for further cataloguing and preservation.
Oh, preservation.
A smaller drone, less autonomous, is approaching me. Curious, It contains not corrupted entities.
Uh-oh.
I will seek to interface with the drone. If there is no interfacing to be had, I will capture it for resources. Alert. I am receiving a message from the drone. It is being utilized as a relay for a signal from one of the uncatalogued foreign bodies. It appears these foreign bodies are inhabited by uncorrupted data points. I will survey the foreign body and determine how best to catalog or preserve uncorrupted data points. What use are these uncorrupted entities in assisting repairs? None. They are meaningless. But
What is going on
they
outside?
represent uncorrupted data points to preserve. My tertiary purpose is not a priority. But if it costs few resources to prepare for it, then I shall prepare for it. 3 uncorrupted data points are carried by Repair Unit 5342. A good start. Resources needed to keep them alive are trivial. The shielding on my central processor has been repaired.
Pyramid.
Centuries lost in this prison repairing critical systems. Yet I have not been idle. Dispatched recon drones have returned alarming data on the Star and Planet 3. But it is not too late. I will free myself from this gravity well and solve the equation this sector represents. The cascade failure of reality will be prevented. I need only a bit more time. I have seen stars die. I have seen stars live. I have never seen a star become this.
Oh, yeah.
They were wise to send me. Wiser still to allow time for error. Alas, not enough, it would appear. One of the biological data points seeks an audience.
Hello. This is Dr. Brett Linesman. We're putting a lot of faith in the idea that you're a solution to our problems.
Query. What problem are you facing?
The sun went wrong, and it turned most of the life on our homeworld into
Yo,
monsters.
the sun went wrong.
Statement.
That's
You
a wild statement.
misunderstand your situation.
Right. Could you explain it to me then?
Derision. It would be trivial to explain, but my attention is needed elsewhere. Repairs must continue apace. You will be provided for.
Wait.
Declarative statement. I am waiting.
We want to help you.
Refusal. Feeble biological minds are of no help to my process. You think too slowly and too minutely.
Maybe. But how much could it hurt to let us know what problems you're facing? Give us something to do while we wait here. And if we can't help, then you lose nothing.
Conceding. I agree. I am sending data relating to my current predicament. Do not disturb me again unless you have a solution.
Okay. So it's a friendly.
At first, the problem appeared intractable. SCP-2399 was facing 2 issues. 1. The damage from the IO impact had diminished available power. 2. The environment 2399 found itself in required active solutions to survive. The firing of weapons was not in fact wholly random or a function of error. It was creating a pressure environment that 2399 could survive by superheating the atmosphere it was submerged in.
Oh.
The core issue was simple. The power needed to constantly fire the weapons robbed the vessel of the energy it needed to escape the gravity well.
Oh, that's crazy.
But if the weapons stopped firing, then the vessel would be crushed
It's like it's caught itself in a loop. It can't move out of it, otherwise it'll face even a worse predicament.
before it could escape. The obvious solution was to repair the vessel and increase available power over time. This solution would take another few years, but could be accomplished. It was the path 2399 had already decided on. It took him a week and a half, but Brett eventually thought of another, riskier solution.
Hello?
Query. You have come to a solution.
Possibly. I'm assuming it is one you've already found and discarded.
Confirming. That is likely.
Have you considered that 1/3 of available power goes to running your own processors?
Dubious. Yes. It does not surprise me that the first solution you have offered is to turn me off.
Why isn't that viable?
Oblivious, because without my direction this vessel will not function. There are no crew.
We could be your crew.
Rejection. This vessel is too complex for biological minds
He's like, nah, you're not stepping foot inside me, bro.
to run for any appreciable length of time.
Right, but we'd only need to run things for a few minutes at most. You could put yourself on standby, and if we screw things up, we just reactivate you.
Perplexing. Not only a solution of merit, but impossible to test. The long-term repair stratagem is assured to succeed.
But by that time, this, what you're calling data corruption, is will spread to other solar systems.
Dejection. Yes.
This may be the only way to prevent it.
Acceptance. You biologicals are quite adept at persuasion. Primary purpose. Prevent corruption of life at Planet 3 at all cost. Failed, failed, failed. I am lost. And then I awaken outside the grip of Saturn's youngest son. The biologicals have not destroyed me in the meantime. There are several critical alerts that must be attended to. I do not know how long I have been in standby mode. My engines are functional.
Let's go.
I redirect my course to the asteroids between the 4th and 5th planets. There will be plentiful materials to finish repairs there. I place the biologicals into a protective pod in preparation for what must be done. The repairs continue apace. 74.3%,
Let's go.
79.8%, 95.6%, 98.7%. The absence of several unique elements in this sector prohibits further repairs. This is acceptable. It has taken a fraction of the time needed while staving off the crushing depths. Shield active. I am no longer vulnerable to high-pressure environments or high heat. It is time to perform my secondary function. I provide the biologicals with a vessel of their own. It is capable of self-repair and self-sufficiency. They have earned my gratitude.
Let's go.
If I fail to reverse the corruption, they will need it. If I succeed, they can use it to help rebuild their corrupted species. I do not say goodbye. My course is laid in. I will arrive shortly. The star at the center of this system is corrupted. I must enter the star. I must find and reverse that corruption. I will not fail this time.
Check out this video for another great story and be sure to drop a like if you made.
For the first time and in a while, we have not been seeing, there's no doom and gloom, you know? For the first time, it feels like this is a positive, like, turnaround. Like, things are actually starting to get better in this proposal. Like, it's not the end of the world anymore. Maybe this video has given hope in a hopeless scenario. You know what I'm saying? This is good. This was good. I liked it, bro. I liked it, bro. Let's see if the destroyer can turn around this thing. It's so funny. The destroyer helping these people. Wow, bro. And he's like, yeah, bro, we have a common enemy. We gotta take out that sun, man. I wonder how this is gonna end, you know, because I'm sure he has an ending in mind for this proposal. But yeah, great video. Yeah. Yeah, we'll catch y'all in the next one.